Welcome everyone to week 1 of Prepared Faith, and we're going to be doing this 6-week series of preparation for things that could happen tomorrow, is I guess the best way to put it. Week 1 here, we're going to start off in the Foundation of Preparedness. I'm Pastor Jack. This is Prepared Faith. First question out of the box, of course, is are you prepared? Today we're going to be tackling the intersection of spiritual preparedness and survival preparedness. So I want you to buckle up, get ready, and let's get into this topic pretty good, because this is really, it is a critical topic when you're talking about preparedness and being ready for things that are going to be happening. So let's take a look at spiritual preparedness first. Let's take a look at the essence of really what that is. As we dive in here into this first segment, let's take a look at the degrees of spiritual preparedness and how they're going to work together to help you deal with what is out there. Now, there may be some kind of event, and that's the way we're going to refer to these from now on. Throughout this, it may be a tornado, a hurricane, power outage, winter blizzard, stuck out in the car in a winter blizzard. All of these things are going to pertain to being prepared for the situation that has jumped up and is right in the middle of your lap. So get ready. Here we go. We're going to take a look at that spiritual preparedness and how it makes a difference in your life, and where does that play in coming together in your survival preparedness, your preparedness for really spiritual preparedness is being prepared for each and every day as it's laid out before you. Now, you might be wondering a little bit of what exactly spiritual preparedness is. Well, it's not about adhering to some type of religion. It's more about, I guess, really, tapping into a deeper sense of purpose and connection. Now, that may sound a little bit weird, I don't know, but it's the inner strength that you have, and everyone has, that you just have to reach into, and you've got to tap into that, and that's going to help you weather the storm. And it doesn't matter what event it is, whether it be metaphorically or an actual event, quite literally, your spiritual preparedness and how you tap into that is going to be a whole lot of what the outcome is for whatever event you've been placed in. Let's take a look here at this next page. Picture this, if you will. Let me just put out a little scenario with you. You've stocked up on supplies, you've created an emergency plan, you've put everything together, and you're ready. Something happens and you have to implement that plan. Well, all of a sudden something changes in that plan, and there's suddenly chaos in the surrounding areas where you're at, or the surrounding family, or whatever it may be. If you are prepared mentally and spiritually and are ready and have that mindset of positivity, then you're going to be able to move through the chaos and move into the solution. Remember, we got to get through the chaos to the solution, where we can be better at whatever the event is or whatever's going on around us. Don't let it take a hold of you and fluster you. Take time to really understand where you are spiritually. And again, I'm going to say this, I'll say it every time. I'm not here to tell you what religion you need to be or anything like that. But what I want you to know is there is some inner peace down there. There's some spirituality within your soul, within your body, that you can tap into to be more of a positive influence in the chaos so that you can move through that chaos and into that solution. So let me ask you a question. Again, are you prepared? Well, as I said last time on the preview, I'm not totally prepared, and I think if you sit down in that I'm already prepared rocking chair like this, you're just rocking back and forth, you're going to find out that you're not prepared. I think being prepared and spiritually prepared is something you need to seek every day and have it every day on your mind. And when you're going out and about, what is it that might be? They always tell you to be aware of your surroundings, and I think that is so true. Let me just read this little story to you here. This is just to kind of help you think about and just kick the thought process in gear. And during a power outage that's lasted for several days, you find out in the very moments of that calmness and that reflection of spiritual preparedness, that's where you draw your strength from, and that's your beliefs. What are your beliefs? And then connecting with others gives you the ability to have a significant role in helping those people and helping them get, where they need to be, helping them find their spiritual preparedness and sharing with them in such a way that you're positive. And that positivity, like I said, it takes you through the chaos and into the solution. So always be looking for that mindset that allows you to face chaos or face adversity with a positive mindset to move you through it and on into the solution. Do you have any experiences that you've been where that's happened to you? You may be a car broke down in a winter storm or something like that. Well, if you do have any of those situations or examples that you would like to share with us, go on over to www.preparedfaith.com. Go over to our contact page and drop us a note in there in the comments and let us know. And who knows, you may end up with your topic as one of our podcast and video podcast, and you'd just tickle us to death that if we could just discuss something that you were more than interested in and it was speaking personally to your life. Think about it, folks. Spiritual preparedness is that inner strength that you're looking for to move you into and out of chaos and into the solution. All right, let's take a look at some of the nuts and bolts of being survivalist prepared. Now, I know we're going to have a week of nuts and bolts actually, and we're going to put it all together, and then we're going to separate them out. We're going to talk about things like a to-go bag, an emergency plan, this or that, and that's in the upcoming week, so make sure you stay tuned for that. But I want you to know that there is a order to things that you can tap into by being spiritually prepared, and that moves you over into the physically prepared. I know if you've got a positive attitude, it's a lot easier to say bring up a 40 case of water up a three flights of stairs and then put it in your closet to save it. It's so much easier if you got a positive attitude to grab that extra bag of beans at the grocery, or that extra bag of rice, or maybe even that extra box of ammo, and get that home and put that where it needs to go for your preparedness. So as you can see, the survival spiritual preparedness works hand in hand together and actually complements one another. So let's see if we can find some harmony in the spiritual and the survival preparedness. As we move forward, well, let's talk about the integration of spiritual and survivalist preparedness. How can we forge ahead and bridge the gap between the spiritual and the reality of being in a crisis event? Well, that all goes back to being positive and the mindset you're at. We know that sometimes life is not fair. And sometimes we get in situations that we really have to dig deep to get ourselves out of. And I don't know what situations you may have been or anything like that. And I know that I've been in several situations, but nothing where it was really, I guess you would say, life-threatening. But when we're looking at some events that are coming, maybe the hurricane, I live down on the coastal bend, and we're always aware of hurricanes. And with hurricanes comes the tornadoes, and with all that comes the electrical outages for a couple of days. So you can see, if you remember back when Katrina hit, there was a lot of things that went on over there in New Orleans and stuff that just, you had to have your stuff together to get through it all. Your spiritual preparedness and your physical preparedness, so you could survive the times there. And that was just, just a hurricane. So we're looking at different things in today's world that could really, really top us off in such a way that we'd have to find us a place to shelter, find us a place to do this, pick up our arms and even fight. So I want you to be aware of all that. And if there's one thing you take away from this podcast, this video cast, is that your spiritual resilience, your mindset, is going to get you through a lot of things where you think that you would give up on. If you've got a good positive mindset and think that you're going to be able to do it, and you're ready to go, and you've got all that inner strength that's coming through, you are going to be able to find that extra breath of air that gets you through a long run. You're going to find that extra burst of adrenaline that gets you through the pulling someone out of a car or helping someone out of a house that a tornado's ripped through. Those things are deep down within inside you. There's some footage of a lady that lifted a car off of someone because, and it's just that brief moment where you reach down real deep and find out what you're truly made of. So let's take a look at here. In our final segment today, I want to talk to you a few things, and I'm going to read these off the notes here so I don't miss anything. And I'll tell you where I got this information so you can go over and take a look at it yourself. And it's over at the Red Cross website. It's redcross.org, and they talk about how to create your emergency plan. Well, there's 3 steps they mention over there, and man, I'm gonna have to put my glasses on for this one. Look at here. First one is, with your family and household members, discuss how to prepare and respond to the types of emergencies that are most likely to happen where you live, learn, work, and play. And like I said, we're down here on the Texas Gulf Coast, so every time that the water gets to a certain degrees, then it starts to become hurricane season. And so, we have to prepare. We'll get extra water, we'll get a few extra cans of Spam, or, a lot of folks have a generator, they've got boards to put up on their windows. And so they get ready that way. And you need to decide what type of event's going to happen around you. Maybe you're up in Kansas through Tornado Alley up through there, and you have a lot of tornadoes through that area. You would prepare for a tornado. You would talk about with your family members what happens if a tornado is the tornado siren goes off, and what do we need to do? Do you have a basement? Do you have a tornado shelter? Where are you going to meet? How are you going to do it? Same thing with a fire. You need to have that ability to know where your family members are going to go and where they're going to meet you in such a way that if they're not there, then you can start looking for them. And so there needs to be a rally point, but you need to think about what events are going to happen there where you're at. Tornado, a hurricane, maybe you live in a low-lying area and maybe flood. You may be concerned with the flood. You may be out on the California coast and mudslides. You may a wind event. There's just all kinds of events that can happen that we need to be prepared for, and we really need to figure out how we're going to move through those, and we're going to move through the chaos of the event, and of course we're going to come out on the solution side. And number 2 is identify the responsibilities of each member of your household. Your children are never too young to know that they need to go out this window in case of an emergency. Of course, when you got babies or toddlers, they may not understand that, and you're going to have to make that plan for them so that they can, know that you're going to come get them, or that that you're supposed to get them, or the wife's supposed to get the boy and the dad's supposed to get the girl, or vice versa, or whatever it may be. Each individual family is a unique system that has to be put out on the drawing board, I guess you could say, and look at the mechanical components of the family. How old are the children? What can they do? What's their responsibility? What's my responsibility as dad? What's my responsibility as mom? And those are the things that you talk about when you're starting to create your plan for a disaster. And number 3, you got to practice it. Red Cross is recommending if you've got a plan for evacuation, then at some point, somewhere along your daily life, you say, it's happening. Then you grab your go bag, you check your evacuation routes. As you're checking your evacuation routes, you look and say, well, what if this highway is blocked off, or if I can't get down this highway? You used to, plan B. You've got to have a way that you think you're going to go, and then you got to have a way that you might need to go. As long as you have some alternatives there that are already pre-thought about, they're not going to be such a detrimental moment in your evacuation or in your plan or whatever it is. If you've thought about it and can work through it, you're going to be a whole lot better off when and if that happens to you. So make sure that you make a plan and then work the plan. And then, try it out. See how it's going to work. See if everybody knows what they're doing. Maybe once or twice a year would be a good thing to do that. We're going to look at common emergency scenarios where you plan. Be familiar, like I said, with the type of disaster that may be in your area. If you're along the coast, the hurricane, Tornado Alley, the tornadoes, California, the mudslides, these things, think about, or even better yet, look back in the history of your area and see what kind of events or disasters have actually been in your area, so you can be prepared for that. So you can look at those and consider how you're going to respond in that emergency, whichever one it may be. You have to think about, what do I do? Case in point, what about an EMP? Maybe coronal mass ejection may happen from the sun, and it may knock out all of our electronics. What would you do in that situation? What would you do if the electricity was out for 3 or 4 days? How would you plan for that? How would you step up to the plate, I guess you would say, and provide for your family? Consider how you would respond to these emergencies for your unique region, so you'll know what you're going to be doing. Plan on what to do in case you're separated. This is a very important point, especially with families. What are you going to do if you become separated? Where is the rally point? What is your positions, or where are they going to be? Are you going to go out the windows and meet at the telephone pole out front, or are you going to go to a neighbor's house, or are you going to go to the bumper of the car, or wherever it might be? Everybody needs to know that, simply because if they don't, they're going to, even if they get out of whatever the happening is, the event, they won't know where to go to find their loved ones or to check on them, and that's just going to create more chaos and more anxiety in the life of whoever it is, whether it's a toddler or a teenager or even a grown-up. If there was an event and I didn't know where my wife was, I certainly would be I'd just pretty well go crazy trying to find her for sure. So make that rally point a place where everybody can get to, and decide how long you're going to be there until everybody shows up, or if you're going to be there 30 minutes, then go look for people. How you going to identify that so-and-so's already been there, but they're out looking for? There's just so many scenarios that you have to be ready and prepare for. Let's go on here. What if you're not home? What kind of plan do you have if you're visiting grandma or grandpa, or if you're out on a vacation somewhere? Take just a few minutes to move your home plan into wherever you're at. It may just be as simple as, anything happens, we're going to meet in the lobby by the fountain. Something like that. Or if you're at some theme park, anything happens, we're going to meet at the front gate, or some designated area. So all your people in your group knows where they're going to be if something happens. Again, this is good for groups, school groups, or big family groups, or if you're going to somewhere with a group of people that they all know if something happens, and we're going to meet back at the car, or if we get separated, we're going to meet back at the car at 2 o'clock, or something like that. So that way you will be able to have a little bit of peace of mind until you get there and find out they're not there. Then what do? See, there's another scenario. So always be thinking ahead if you can. If you can get 2 steps ahead in the event that's happening, you'll come out of that chaos a whole lot better. Here's one important thing that I didn't even think about. It came off the Red Cross page, and it's make emergency contact cards for everyone. Even the kids or something. Have that maybe on a lanyard that, if something happens, that's one of the things they do. They grab their lanyard, put it over their head, hit the window, get gone. Meet at the pole. But if you've got a contact card on there, if something happens, then the emergency first responders would be able to have some kind of identification, some kind of where they live, or what's going on in their life, so they would be able to know how do I deal with this. Maybe it's an elderly person, or maybe it is a young child. A contact card, who they are, what kind of address they have, a phone number, and any type of allergies they may have, or anything like that. They got those wristbands, first alert bands that some people wear. But if you've got something like that on your contact card, then the paramedics or the first responders, they know not to do this or not to do that. So that's going to help out. That's going to speed things along in your your survival plan, and in making your family a unit again if you get separated. So think about that for contact cards. What to do if you got to evacuate? Okay, well, what are you going to do? If I have to evacuate my home for let's say a hurricane, because I live down here in hurricanes area, what am I going to do? Well, our plan is to go up to Central Texas where I have family, and I can stay with family until the all clear is given back down here, and then that way I would know. Or plan B would be get up far enough and get a hotel or motel so I can be there. But then again, remember back when we talked about letting people know that you're safe. Here again, your family members, if even your extended family members, maybe a brother or a sister or a mom or dad or a grandma or something, if you can, give them a call and let them know that you're okay and everything, because them not knowing is creating a chaos in their life that they need to get through and find a solution for. So try to help out. If I know you're going to be busy. You're going to be thinking about your own self, your own family, but there are your loved ones that are out there extended that really need to know that you're okay. So also, here's another thing we need to worry about, guys. Most all of us, now I don't presently, but I have had a pet. What are you going to do with the pets? How are you going to get the pets there? Do we have a kennel that stays in the vehicle? Do we have a kennel in the garage that we need to put them in? Do they just ride? Those are things that in the event arena where you have to make some split-second decisions, If you already know those things need to be this, or that, they need to be taken here, put there, grabbed here, put in there. Those are things you don't have to think about anymore because, like we said, you're going to be at least practice this once or twice a year so we are familiar with what's going on, and then adjust and make tweaks and tune it up to where it fits what you need to have it to do. Again, one of the most important things is to let people know that you're okay. Let them know where you're at. So, from securing your home during a vicious hurricane to staying warm during a winter blizzard, one of the things you need to do is be prepared. Preparation is the key. It's the key to adaptability. Be proactive. It's the most important thing is to be prepared. Well, that is true. And a key to that is being prepared first here in the mind. So this is Pastor Jack asking you the question one more time during this podcast. Are you prepared? Are you ready if things go south? So let me know. Don't forget, over there at www.preparedfaith.com, we got a comment area over there on the Contact Us page. So please go over, put in your email address, and I promise you I'm not going to sell your email to anybody else. It's going to stay right with us. And let us know what you think and any comments that you may have. Don't forget to subscribe to our video cast and our podcast here. And also, we've got that website, that www.preparedfaith.com. It's got a lot of helpful information on there, and I just got finished building it just a couple weeks ago, so it will be growing as we grow here, as our community grows. We would try to reach out in such a way through the website to let you know what's happening, what's going on. Eventually, we'll have some merch on there, and so we look forward to interacting with you through our website and getting to know you as one of our followers. Again, it's Pastor Jack. You have a great time out there. Be prepared. Remember, through the chaos, into the solution. Have a great day.